cocktail reply. Sorry, last night I don't remember anything. It's so wrong. I don't know anything. Next weekend. Hi Marcus, how are you doing? But I definitely don't go there during the night.
You know, you gave me these t-shirts.
Either that or I'm way too young. Is that cool? Yeah. Where's yours at?
I went on 420. Really?
Yeah, I had.
Lauren, there's 4 months? Literally.
Police to the roof, blatantly flagrant.
I would love listening.
You're the music man. Come on now.
Oh, hey. How you doing? Good to see you.
All right.
Still taking pictures.
I'm still in the business, man. How's the music thing coming?
Well, it's always been rough, but right
It's happening though, ain't it?
Right now I'm limited because I have to have knee replacements very soon. All the cartilage is going out, both knees.
Whoa.
So it limits my activities. Not that they're that great anyway. But I'm doing private teaching now.
Oh, okay.
You know, because I've got a reputation that's pretty good for working with singers. I worked with people like Dakota Staten. I actually was the last one to play for her. And Eddie Jefferson, I played for him. So, And then people come to me because improvisation is a very tricky thing to teach.
Uh-huh.
It's like you would be pretty much in the same way if you were trying to teach the creative part of photography. I mean, it's like you have to learn a certain amount of rules and technique, but that doesn't mean you're going to be a Roy DeCarava or a Gordon Parks or even yourself. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah, it's like what we do is intuitive, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's a tricky thing to try and you know work with people who have absorbed misguided ideas about things. Mary Lou Williams said in an interview, "The music I'm trying to save can't be taught." But what she really meant, because she was teaching a limited amount of people at the time, like on a one-on-one mentor thing, which is how it should be done. She meant that the way they're doing it in the schools, with these people with their PhDs, trying to say, well, you want to play the blues, you learn this blues scale. There's no such thing as a blues scale. You know, guys that I've worked for that were blues people never talked about a blues scale. You know, it was just part of a certain way of thinking about holistically about something. And if you read music, fine, but you didn't think in terms of a scale. It was just like a whole entity in itself. So, looking at your stuff, I would say, you know, it's like music to me because it speaks for itself. So, I mean, if you were to teach something like that, how would you go about doing it?
That's the question.
Yeah, I mean,
so it depends on the individual in terms of where they're coming from and where they want to go with what I have to offer them.
Well, what happens often today is that people want to do things that they don't have any prerequisite stuff.
Yeah, it's just something to do, basically. Yeah, it's something they need to be busy doing something.
Yeah.
Because they have other interests, but yet there's that side interest they're trying to catch up with.
I mean, how did you do it? You obviously had to learn a certain amount of the rules and then break them. So
that's how I came in. I was completely ignorant of it all. Fortunately,
is that right?
Yeah, completely ignorant of it all.
Really?
Yeah. I had a natural ability to see. It was just my learning to use the tools to translate that vision that I had.
But had you paid attention to anybody like?
Oh, I looked at pictures all the time, like everybody. I study pictures. Yeah. I study reality. Everything comes together.
Did you have any favorites of like certain? Like I would say like my favorite pianists were almost the people that had a blues influence, like Red Garland or Horace Silver.
Well, yeah, I came up through the 50s.
Yeah, me too.
And you got the likes of who's who doing this because it was pushed out there and it became popular.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much that they were great. It's that who's pushed out there and supported to make sure it was embedded in everybody's mind and everybody eventually agreed. But there was other people beneath all that constantly going around.
Yeah.
So, people say Miles Davis and somebody say Kenny Dorham. So, that's what I mean in terms of, the value of what we apply to things in terms of what we consider good, bad, or whatever.
Yeah, so...
That's where we coming from. So when I came into photography, I was just looking at pictures. I didn't know who I was looking at. I looked at all kinds of pictures. I like them all. It depends on the mood. It could be a wet day. I like that moody kind of thing going. A sunny day, it brings on those emotions. And that's where I come from in terms, I identify. Just like tonight, I see all this energy going on, so I take out my camera, clean it off, and I mash the button. I don't know what's going to happen. But I see you going,
Did you get
now I got you.
Did you get a picture? Did you actually get one?
Yeah. It's running now.
Oh, you probably
Have a
got
nice
me
one. Have a nice interview with
in a
you.
state of surprise.
Yeah, have a nice interview with a
I knew
famous
you
artist.
looked familiar, but I'm at the point now where I don't even see that good. I mean, I can see, but you know, I really should have distance glasses as well as reading glasses, and I only have the reading glasses. But I mean, I recognized you after a hot minute.
Okay.
So I hope the picture doesn't
No, this
show
is video.
me in a state of
This is video. And as you're talking, it's being recorded.
Oh, everything is on.
Yeah, new technology.
I thought you were just going to get a single shot of me.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, you don't do
I needed
that
information a long time ago. I couldn't do this a long time ago. You take a picture of somebody, it doesn't say nothing at all about what expired.
Oh, okay.
So with this thing here, I got the whole idea.
It's pretty small, huh?
Yeah,
Pretty
that's what I like
compact.
about this camera.
What does it say, jazz on there?
Yeah.
Well, that's comforting. You're in the right place for that.
It's a jazz camera.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you a lot of when I first moved
What's your
in-
name? What's your name? I gotta
Bert.
get you on the tape.
You know my name, Bert.
No, I need to get it on here.
Bert Eckhoff.
Bert Eckhoff.
Yeah, like echo and a cough.
Okay, Bert Eckhoff.
But you'd be surprised some of the people that used to knock on my window when I first moved in here. Cedar Walton, great pianist, still around. Clarence Sharp, they called him C Sharp, his sax player, alto sax player. Well, you know, lesser known people, Gilly Coggins, pianist that had played on some early Miles Davis recordings.
What instrument are you favorite?
Well, I'm a pianist.
No other instrument?
What's that?
You didn't go to any other instrument besides the piano, or you?
Well, as a musician, I've always been fond of all the music, all the instruments, you know. And when I was trying to put it all together as a teenager, I developed a fondness for the tenor sax.
Okay.
I like Prez, Lester Young. I like Gene Ammons. I like Sonny Rollins. You know, and I liked, you know, the Illinois Jacquet sax solo on Flying Home, and all of that was registering so when I tried to improvise, I would hear, you know, all these great horn figures. I liked piano players, obviously, but I didn't limit myself to just listening to piano players. Any phrase that I liked, I tried to incorporate it, and I try to use that in my teaching, and I say that any good phrase will sound good on pretty much any instrument. There are some things that may be easier fingered, let's say on a saxophone rather than a piano, or vice versa, but conceptually that line is going to sound good because it, you know, there's a spirit and a power in the music that the expression, as Jackie McLean would have said, the expression called jazz. You know, the expression that they've called jazz, there's a spirit and power in that music when it's played right. And I think you'd agree with me, because I've seen those wonderful pictures that you've taken of the great people.
Thank you.
And you've captured that, you know, that greatness, you know.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, did you meet a lot of the people that you photographed?
I was there, and you know, it was just a matter of, you know, it's like me talking with you. You know, I'm on the sidelines, and them talk with each other. I couldn't get in. They were in their own thing. I was just a sideliner.
Yeah, so you never actually would have a conversation with somebody like John Coltrane.
No, nobody had a conversation with John Coltrane. I went up to photograph him, and he had his own room in the back, and they had their room in the front, and they treated him like a god. And you know, he was separate from them basically, but you know, he needed them as support, and they were there basically to do that, and they knew that.
Yeah. Well,
so when I went up to photograph him, I took him a print. And they called him from in the back, and it took about 10 minutes to come from in the back, and he came out, and I gave him the print, He wrote on the back of it and gave it back to me. And you don't write on the back of photographic prints because you break the emotion, you destroy the print. And I felt kind of like weird and upset. So why is he doing this? He's destroying the print. And give it back to me. That become a historical image in terms of him got his name on the back of a print that he's seen of himself. But at the time, it was a whole different set of circumstances. You know, don't do that, bro. Yeah. Young kid coming into nowhere, right? Yeah. And that's, you know, I existed that way, very naive. But fortunately, I was on time to get whatever information I was supposed to get.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Okay, nice to see
Next
you.
Next time.
Yeah, you still have your store?
Yeah, I'm still around there.
East 4th Street.
I had a job to do, so I came out, and fortunately, I'm on time. I got you.
All right. I'll stop by one of these days. I don't get out that much because
okay. All right.
my knees don't allow me to do that much. But I'm gonna have surgery pretty soon, one at a time.
All right. So next time, sir. See you.
Yeah. Take care now.
Okay. Thank you.